Okay, guys, for this video, I want to talk about something that's interesting to me. And it's one of these things that I kind of like talking about because it's one of those parts of League of Legends that's kind of cool that never really gets talked about. But it's one of those things that if you played the game and you played Sion, you actually know about this. Now, I'm not talking about his gameplay. I'm not going to go into his lore super in depth. I'm just going to talk about the character of Sion and a little part about Sion and the interesting part about Sion and what separates him from just being a bloodthirsty warlord. Now, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a comment down below, and I'm gonna tell you, Sion doesn't know that he's no longer alive. He doesn't know that he's dead. That's super important. It's something that a lot of people playing the champion skip over. Sion was revived using very poor blood magic, and he doesn't, at least from what I've seen, he doesn't really seem to be able to create new memories after he died originally. While making this video, I did do like 2 or 3 hours of research, and I watched some videos made by other people, and I went back and I read Riot sources. And one thing I noticed is that Riot sources seem to have taken a lot of information out of them, and they effectively don't say things that they used to say anymore. They changed some dates and some other things. So a lot of what I'm saying here is kind of up for interpretation because they've kind of left it ambiguous at this point, as some of its things are left ambiguous. So a lot of what other people are saying is not true anymore. Riot has left a lot of things up to interpretation. My interpretation is the far more interesting and, in my opinion, correct. I would say, in my opinion, correct interpretation. And it's unlikely that Riot's ever going to go back and change this stuff. So it's unlikely that they're ever going to say, oh, Hashinshin, your interpretation is wrong. So as far as we know, and for the foreseeable future, my interpretation is a cooler and better one. So my interpretation is Sion doesn't know that he's not alive anymore. The blood magic doesn't allow him to create new memories. He can't seem to focus properly, and it's kind of driven him into an insane bloodlust. Now in life, he was a vicious, violent warlord. You know, this isn't exactly abnormal for him, but it seems to have been amplified to 100. Now, I've played a lot of Sion, and there's a lot of quotes he have that flow in a very, in my opinion, they flow in a very intentional way. Let's put it that, very intentional. And let's listen to them.
I do not bleed.
Now, some people listen to that quote and they see it kind of like as a declarative statement. I do not bleed. But he has kind of battle cries like that where he says things like that. But that one always struck me as more of kind of like he's thinking about it. Like, I don't bleed. Why don't I bleed? That's weird. People bleed, right? Like, normal people bleed. And if you listen to another one.
Why do I feel nothing?
That one is a little bit more obvious. Why do I feel nothing? Because he doesn't know he's a zombie. Swain keeps him chained up beneath his monument. They built a monument when he died, and he keeps him chained up, and he basically brings him out as this horrible bioweapon to go massacre and slaughter people. Sion doesn't know what's going on. He's basically being, like, he was brought back to life without him knowing. 50 years after he died, he gets brought back to life as this horrible murder machine. And, you know, obviously in life, he was a warlord, he was bloodthirsty, he slaughtered people, etc., etc. But now he's being used for those things, and he doesn't even realize it. And he's kind of, it's like sad. It's like super fucking sad. It's like really messed up, actually. I mean, imagine every time you go to battle, I think, and again, this is my interpretation, I think, and they do show it, that Sion, when he fights, when he has battle, when he slaughters people, he can slowly start to reclaim his mind and realize what's going on. And he can slowly start to be like, that's weird. I keep getting cut and I don't bleed. And that's weird. Why am I always hungry for battle, for killing people? He has quotes like, oh, let's listen to this one.
How many battles have I won?
Again, some people seem to think that's a declarative statement, or how many battles have I won? But it's more, in my opinion, it's like he's questioning it. Like, how many times have I done this? How many times have I fought? And then at the end of each battle, after he thinks about this and he starts to realize that something's not right, you can feel like there's this pain of there's really something fucked up with me. Why is there all these things wrong with me, right? And after every battle, the blood magic starts to take over. After he goes into peace, after he's put back into rest under the monument, jailed to be used to slaughter people in the future, and he forgets it all. He forgets everything that he's learned, only to have to relearn it every single time. Every single time that there's a fight, every single time that there's a battle, he has to start relearning this stuff. Once again, he has to start going for it. He has to go, here, let's show one.
These wounds bring no pain. What toll have I paid?
That one is really telling. What toll have I paid? It's like he's literally realizing to himself, like, I seem to be massively powerful and I'm very unkillable, but I don't know why. And it's literally him saying, what toll have I paid? Like, why am I like this? Oh God, what have I done in my life? But that's the thing, Sion, you didn't do anything. You were Olaf. That's the thing too. You were Olaf. You died heroically in battle, killing Jarvan. You choked him to death. You crushed him. You had the good ending. You get laid to rest under a giant memorial, and then 50 years against your will, nobody asked you. They bring you back to life as a slaughter machine who has to keep relearning how fucked up this whole is, and he has to keep relearning this, and it's really sad, and it's really messed up when you think about it. He's brought to battle in a cage. He's chained up beneath the monument, beneath the times they bring him out to slaughter people. He's not allowed to die. It's whack. I mean, you can clearly hear it in this one.
What am I?
I mean, and yeah, I mean, it's really, 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 in my opinion, it's a messed up backstory when you actually stop to think about it. It's really messed up. There's some unused quotes on Sion that I think go more into this. Basically, it's an entering combat and leaving combat. And so those are obviously up to interpretation again, but you can hear on the leaving combat, you can clearly see
Losing myself. Not yet. I can hang on. My mind will not dim. Slipping.
you can clearly hear, even in those unused quotes, you can hear that, like, in my opinion, and this goes with the story, I think they very much 100% intended Sion to be this crazy bloodshed murderer who starts to regain and understand what's happening to him in combat. And after losing combat, the blood magic starts taking back over. He forgets it all, only to have to relive it all over again. And in my opinion, that's what makes Sion an interesting character. He is a blood-crazed warlord, but what's happening to him is so messed up, and it's actually extremely unfair to him, because again, even if he's a bloodthirsty warlord, by Noxian standards, he did his job. He fought to the death, he died in glorious combat, and now they just keep bringing him back to life. That's basically what I want to make this video about, because it's something that's really interesting to me, that I kind of like to talk about these little details. Riot, every so often, they do have these cool, really cool backstories on characters that a lot of people miss, and if you don't play the character, you won't really get onto it. So basically, in summation, Sion is hungry. He's a zombie. He knows that he's hungry, that he needs to murder. He has to kill people. He has this bloodshed inside of him. But the more he fights, the more that bloodshed starts to subside, the more he starts to regain control. And he starts thinking, and again, he starts thinking, like, why do I have this horrible desire to murder? Why don't I bleed? What is going on? Something's, and again, that's really the best way I've described it. It's just him going, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Like, you can almost feel him calling for help. Like, guys, what the fuck happened? Why am I like this? And then he loses combat, he loses himself, his mind dims, and he has to go relive it again the next time. That's my video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, my Patreon boys and girls and everybody. You guys help me and support these videos. I appreciate you all for watching through and looking at them. I hope you guys found this at least a little bit as interesting as I did. Again, like, comment, you know. So thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate you all again. Have a great day or night or whenever it is. Bye-bye.